Hi, what's up? My name is Seth, and today I'm going to teach you how to make satisfying movement for your 2D platformer. And I'm going to teach you about a game design concept called player forgiveness and how that works to make players of all skill levels feel like experts when they're playing your game. But to start, I want to show you the game that inspired me to start making my own games and is actually an inspiration for the project I'm currently working on. Let's get to it. Alright, so here we go. I really had to dig back into the archives to find this. A copy of this game was on like a backup of a backup from like 10 years ago, but here we are. Isn't it awesome? I honestly, it's a bit clunky, but I love this game. This is so fun. For me and for a lot of my siblings, this game and the way it looks and the way it plays and sounds is just iconic, and it brings back a lot of nostalgia. And for that reason, it has all the points in my book. But yeah, you can see, mechanics wise, it's a little clunky. The movement is a little slow, and that's the one we're going to focus on in this video. But you can see there's a scoring system. You can actually play with up to 3 people at a time. And there's like so many levels. I forget how many exactly, but I think there might actually be, I don't know. I thought it was like close to 100. I could be wrong, but there's a lot of levels. And there's even a super secret level on the main menu, which you can hop into, and it's just massive. It's like split screen multiplayer. It's epic. I love it. But looking at this footage, yeah, you can kind of tell I wouldn't want to replicate this one-to-one. I think I can improve on this a lot, and I want to show you what that looks like. So I believe that movement is going to be a really important part of this game that I'm making right now. For the most part, all that you're going to be doing is running around, moving around, and shooting pretty simple weapons and trying to take the other person out. And I think most of the skill is going to have to be in the movement. So the movement's got to be really good. What that means is I've got a couple goals for the movement system. The first one is that the movement system is really good at expressing the intent of the player, whether you're a low skill or high skill player. I want the movement system to be efficient at expressing what you want. So if you want the player to move a certain way, if you want to be able to pull off these things, it allows you to do that instead of fighting against you. Part of that is that the movement system is going to need to have a low barrier to entry, but a high skill ceiling. So a player that's played for a long time can pull off really complicated moves if they want to, and that would be satisfying. But also a new player would be able to hop in pretty quickly, and a new player could do cool stuff quickly as well. Or at least be able to do basic movement and move their character where they want to move them. So a big part of lowering the barrier to entry is going to be introducing something called player forgiveness. Player forgiveness is a design principle for video games, and it's best explained by showing you the sorts of things that you would do with it. So that's a visual thing. I'm not a visual artist. I'm not great at animating stuff, so I've actually put together a presentation for you. And so we're going to cut to presentation Seth. Here we go. This YouTube thing is harder than they tell you. Basically, I want my game to express the player's intent, and I believe this requires the game giving grace to the players. So here's the idea. You're playing a game, and you are only a human, right? You're not perfect. You're not actually a machine. You can't put perfect inputs in. Now, theoretically, you would love to, but you're not really able to. So that's where giving grace to your players comes in. And this is how you give grace to your players and make the game still fun, even when they're not perfect. We make the game more forgiving. Let me tell you about Coyote Time, all right? Here's Coyote Time. You ever seen this? You ever seen this cartoon? This guy's running, and he gets off the cliff, right? He runs past the cliff, but he has a minute before gravity actually happens to him, actually takes effect. He gets a moment before he does anything. That's the idea of Coyote Time. Here's how it works in a video game. Let's say you have a platform. let's say you have a player. Your player is approaching the edge of the platform and their plan is to run off the platform and then jump. But they're not perfect. They're just a human and they're about to mistime this jump. This is where the grace comes in. Your player continues past the edge and they actually miss their opportunity to jump. Now, if you were giving no grace, right? If you didn't want to do the whole player forgiveness thing, it'd be over. They would fall. End of story. But I'm trying to make the game fun, even for people who are not that good at video games. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce coyote time. What we're going to do is we're going to give the player a certain number of frames past this edge and where they can still jump. So they're past the edge, but they're still within coyote time. And guess what? If they click jump right now, we're going to let them jump. And so to you and me and to the game engine, we know that they missed their time. But to the player, it feels like I meant to jump and I did. And that feels really good. And it's going to mean a lot less missed inputs. This means jumping input doesn't need to be precise. It doesn't need to be pixel perfect. It just needs to be close. It just needs to be close. All right, next. Jump buffering. What? Know what jump buffering is? All right, here's the scenario. Your player is here and they are approaching the ground and they intend to hit the ground and then jump back up. But here's the problem. They push the jump button a bit too early. They're not actually on the ground. They hit the jump button right here. Now, if we were being strict about this, they would hit the ground and they would not jump. And they would have to know to press the jump button a second time. Otherwise, they would just continue on the ground and they would miss their chance. All right, so this is what jump buffering does. The player presses the jump button early, but instead of ignoring it because the player is not on the ground, what we're going to do is we're going to store that jump input just for a few frames, just for a little bit of time, so that when the player does actually hit the ground a moment later, we remembered, hey, just a moment ago, they hit the jump button. You know what we're going to do? We are going to instantly let them jump because that's what they intended to do. So we set off the jump and they think, wow, I'm good at jumping. And your player's having fun because they meant to jump. They weren't perfect, they weren't a machine, but they meant to, and we knew it, so we're gonna let them do it. That's it. That's all. So, all right. So that's what player forgiveness is. That's how we implemented it. And those features are already in the game. I've already got coyote time, I've already got jump buffering, and those two things alone made a pretty big difference as far as how easy the game is to play. But I also did a couple other things in the meantime. I updated the acceleration and deceleration values of the players. You can kind of see this footage beforehand, how slippery they looked, and I didn't like it. Like, you know, maybe you can kind of see in this footage beforehand what it looked like before, and I didn't like it. It felt really slippery. It didn't feel very under control, and I want the players to feel like they're in control of these guys, so I tightened that up a little bit. I also added variable jump height. The idea behind this, once more, is to give control over to the player. I want them to be able to control, are they going to jump a long ways or short ways, with very simple controls. In this case, just holding down the jump button means that they jump higher. The solution that I found for this was actually this Reddit comment right here. Turns out that the Mario games do this by setting the gravity to a low value as long as the jump button is being held. And then when that jump button is let go, they change the gravity to a higher value, causing the player to fall a bit quicker and the jump to not be as high, which is pretty great and very simple to implement. All right, so that's it for this update. Hopefully you have an idea of what player forgiveness is now and what it means to kind of give grace to your players and enable them to like feel good at your game even if they're not putting in perfect inputs. yeah, so the project has some new features. It is starting to take shape just a little bit. In some of these clips, hopefully you've seen an updated scoring system. So I've actually added a way to see how well you're doing and actually just keep track of hits and things like that. I also added a free tile map that I found online to make it a little bit more bearable to look at. It was looking pretty plain before. But yeah, added some particle effects and some other small changes, and it's, you know, it's not anywhere close to being done. We're very much just getting started on this thing, but it's starting to take a little bit of shape. It's fun now. It didn't used to be before. I've got some ideas for advanced movement options I want to do, maybe some kind of air dash or a roll or dodge. Those sorts of things I think will add a little bit more depth to the gameplay and raise that skill ceiling that I was talking about before. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something from it. If you did, like it, and feel free to subscribe or ask a question down below. And I appreciate you giving me your time. You have a blessed day, and I will see you around.